And it's blue. Yes, so much yes. Whew. Hard one. Sorry to keep you waiting there.
No problem.
Okay, quick glance of the overlay. Okay, everything is fine, I think. So I'm gonna leave it to yourself, and I'm gonna try commentating these games. Good, the players are now by themselves, and we don't need to fear them spoilers. They seem to be ready already. Can you give me your draft? They will probably already have done it. I'm ready. Svampen is high seed. Well, I don't know if they drafted already. We'll see. With this game, we have Svampen as the high seed. Seeding determines who is gonna pick at which turn. For the bans, the high seed bans first, and then the low seed picks their ban. And for the actual games, it starts with initiative on the low seed player, and the player with initiative picks the map, while the other player picks the faction. So we have Coruscant ban from Svampen, the Swedish guy. Again, I'm gonna take notes here on these things to make sure everything goes in order. Coruscant, the largest map in the pool, is something we have seen a few bans already for. Polos, to have it appear in your list, you need to do a few steps that are given in the Tournament Edition mod Steam workshop page. So just look there, and it's an easy step-by-step how you're gonna do it to add the bonus disc maps, of which Polos is one, to your base game. These maps are included in the mod, but they do not appear automatically. You have to do like a little copy thing, just copying the games in another folder. All those can be installed easily with the what's the word? Tournament edition mod work shop page. Then it appears. Yeah, let's just give them the chance to get the full map pool to be played. Because with 2 bans and 7 maps in the pool, it's kinda important we have everything here. I mean, maps can be replayed if it's the other player picking them, but for one player it's forbidden to pick the same map twice to prevent situations where we have the same game played twice on behalf of the same player and on behalf of it being their like favorite map. So to make it a bit more competitive, we forbid that. But if the other player is confident and wants a rematch, or maybe thinks like it will be a side-swapped match, if he picks the map, he can try it, and then the ball is in the court of the other player to decide if he wants the same faction or the different faction. So if you're ballsy and think, I just fucked this up and I can do better, then you can pick the map your opponent picked before. Maybe even for a psychological advantage, because if you do that, the enemy will probably think that you've got a good plan. And in close games, factors like this, like your opponent being a little bit more cautious, might just do the difference. I'll check that after the game. Okay. Then we have a Polos ban. for Xerns. Xerns has formerly played in the famous THX clan. A lot of older players will know this tag still, I think. And faction big is on high seat Svampen. I mean, in fact, I don't mind the players just announcing their picks and bans if they are familiar with the drafting process, but I don't mind like talking them through the drafting process either. No problem there. Okay, so we have the Endor pick for Xerns. Endor, the smallest map in the pool, with the infamous nebula in the middle. And we will see a faction pick from Svampen in a moment. If he's confident, he'll probably pick Rebels, because on a small map the speed advantage of Rebels can be quite significant. If he's not as confident, he'd probably pick Empire, because it's harder to make mistakes with Empire. Or maybe it's easier to make mistakes with Rebels. But then again, I don't know how good Svampen is right now. I've played him like a week ago, and he was asking the right questions, I'd say. So he could have made a jump in skill level since then if he played a lot. I think he played with Ormiller too, so he is like approaching the veterans and asking them for advice, which is the right thing to do, I think. Just accelerates your getting better. Okay, so we have originally it's thought like you do one step of the draft after each game, but I will not stop the players if they want to do it right now. I mean, it's not really a difference. For the playoff stages, we probably have to talk about it to make it consistent, but for the group stages, I mean, it's fair games. I think it's a little bit more interesting if they play the game and then do the rest of the draft, because maybe you will adapt to what you pick based on what you have played and seen of the other player. Yeah. Okay, so we have an Empire pick for the first map here, for Svampen. And yeah, and they continue the draft later. Okay, I think they are ready. The settings are the same as always. 5,000 starting credits, we have heroes, we have starting units, and it's destroy enemy space station, unless someone forfeits. Okay. One look into the overlay, we have the high seed player in Svampen who is playing Empire, so let's activate the Empire overlay and we can go. Game is loading, let's hope for no map loading bug, and everything's fine. Okay, switch the overlay and let's go. Good, we are in the game. Xerns on the Orange Rebellion fighters is doing a quick start, getting the base mine at the bottom here, while Svampen is getting his opposite base mine on the top and is going aggressively into the middle. Of course, Rebels are quicker here because of the S-Falls ability, so it should be able for Xerns to build a turret, and he does. But the mine is now visible, though he should not build it. Good decision there. While Svampen is building a laser turret to counter the other one. However, the orange one will be ready first. On the top left side, we see Xerns with the aggressive move towards the enemy base mine, who he will probably get even a few hits in while it is being built. Yep. So, right now, both players are doing the standard play, while I think Xerns is a little bit quicker and mechanically more proficient. Svampen is doing the right thing as well. He's going aggressively for the enemy mines, getting them while they are being built. He's calling in his fighters there to destroy them as quickly as possible, to cripple the rebel player's income and to minimize the amount of fighters he can field, because the advantage of the rebel player gets bigger with more X-Wings, of course, because they just pack so much of a punch, so it's pretty important to be quick about their mines. One thing to notice here, Svampen did not build the bottom mine, because Xerns was there so quick that he didn't even get the chance. It might even be a good thing in the long run, because if there's no mine, there's nothing to be destroyed, and no credits to lose from that. And at the same time, Xerns is rather slow in destroying this mine. I'd say it should have been destroyed a long time ago. By the time he was here, it was very early in the game, so this is rather slow, so maybe a bit of bad micro. Talking about bad micro, this thing here is something fighters do like to do. If they get the wrong angle at the mine, they just do this, and you have to micro them on the mine again. A bit unfortunate. Bottom. Rebel mine has been destroyed and he's flying over. Oh, this could be a mistake by Xerns here. If the Empire player sees this mine, he already has 3 squadrons here, can maybe call in a few more to get this mine while it's being built. So effectively, these are 6 TIE fighters attacking the mine right now. And it should not even be built before it gets destroyed. So 850 credits gone there for the Rebel player. That's a lot. While in the Nebula we have a dogfight. I mean, generally X-Wings are better in a dogfight than TIE fighters, but we are inside a Nebula and they don't have shields, so they take permanent damage, which is a thing that will hurt them in the long run. However, we have a secured Nebula for the Rebel player, which is an important thing, and the mine is being built. While on the bottom, I was wrong, the mine did complete, but it will never generate enough credits to make it a win economically. It will never have made 850 bucks. Xerns is doing the right thing here. He is trying to use his fighter advantage to destroy these smaller groups of TIE fighters, but they are living long enough to see this mine being built. So if Xerns is now going quick, he can attack this mine before it generates too many credits, while in the back he has his own mine being built and has income. Right now I'm guessing Svampen is teching up, which I'm not a big fan of at this stage, but it could just be the thing he needs. With the income he already gets, he can build a boba and maybe get a good seismic bomb on the rebel fighters here. The S-foils are not closed here, I don't know why. This is a slow endeavor. And Xerns is trying to get his economy going right now. Second mine, he's going over to get the third mine right now, while on the other side Svampen is trying to do the same thing. Maybe he's a bit cautious, for he doesn't see every rebel unit. Actually, he pretty much does. Okay, so we have a pretty open game here. Both players have some income, both players have some unit on the field, both players are rather cautious in their first game. Svampen is now reverting to a more defensive posture, trying to defend his mine, and Xerns is respecting that. We'll see how this plays out. Here we see the speed advantage of the X-Wing, who can just outrun the TIE fighters, and he's trying to lure them into the tower. Actually, the TIE fighters should just destroy the tower. Come on, just hit it. Just hit it. Please. Ah, this hurts me. This hurts my soul. Those were enough TIE fighters to just fire once and destroy it. So now Svampen was too passive, I think. He has allowed Xerns to build 3 mines, and 3 mines equals a lot of credits. Every mine gives you 5 credits per second, on top of the base income from your station and the supply dock. So with 3 mines, it's 15 per second, effectively like 20 per second, and 20 per second is enough to constantly build the Rebellion's units. Xerns even is ballsy and builds the enemy side's mine, and Svampen with his defensive posture doesn't really know what to do. He had a good start, he did the right moves, but in mid-game he kinda didn't know how to translate this into a solid foothold on the map. So what we are seeing here is something I'd say is akin to inexperience. Svampen is just a very new player. He's doing the right things, his start was good, albeit a bit slow, but mid-game he lacks the experience to know how to react to what Xerns is doing. And has now lost his mind. This is the right move, he should have done this way earlier. Just attack these mines, they cannot really be defended. Just call in a few TIE fighters, attack them. Because your TIE fighters over here are not generating you any advantage, they are just sitting there. You need to use them and destroy the mines. Or scout, or fight the X-Wings. Just do something to gain an economic advantage. Here we will see a clash soon with the stronger X-Wings trying to decimate the TIE fighters. However, now the X-Wings feel the damage they've taken in the nebula before, because now it takes less of the concussion missiles to destroy them, and we see a lot of orange clouds here. Now actually the rebel player has tagged up first, but before I was guessing maybe Svampen is tagging up, but he didn't. So we will see if he just did it later and has the tag up happening soon. These X-Wings actually are not enough to destroy the station, so he should just back off, and he's doing now. Svampen has found the bottom mine and his lonesome TIE fighter is attacking it. Maybe he should call in reinforcements there, while on the top side his fighter squadrons have done their job and taken another mine of Xerns. Svampen has built a defensive missile turret here, which is very good in destroying attacking fighters, while on the other side of the map Han Solo is coming and asserting map dominance. He's not as quick in destroying fighters as Boba Fett is, of course, but he is still pretty much indestructible towards pure fighters, so he can just run them down one by one. Svampen still is pumping out fighters, which is a little bit of a desperate move, because with Han Solo in the vicinity they will not last. It's a bit pointless, and yes, he will do damage to the X-Wings, but if he loses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squadrons here, that's over 2,000 credits. For 2, maybe 3 X-Wing squadrons, that's just not worth it. This lonesome hero here is still attacking the mine, okay? While topside Xerns has used his economic advantage with all these mines to build a quick corvette to decimate these fighters. So the game is swinging more and more into the favor of Xerns, and bringing in more fighters is not the right move here. Xerns should have covered with the tech, and when he plays more games, more competitive games, he will get a better feel for it and will know better when to tag up, and especially when the enemy is tagging up, because you can really feel that in his map movements, in whether he is calling in reinforcements, whether he is sacrificing units or trying to preserve them. From that and from the amount of mines he probably has, you can get a pretty good gauge on what he's doing in terms of taking up or not. Now the Tech 1 station is pretty easy to destroy via frigates. It doesn't have many defensive capabilities, and it is very weak shields. Especially the shields are way weaker than on the second tier space station. So these units should be enough. Up here we have a squad of 3 corvettes joining the fray, while from hyperspace more Nebulans are arriving. And with that, let's sit back and enjoy the fight. Actually, this cinematic mode was way ahead of its time in 2006. We were all blown away by it. I mean, now the textures are pretty washed up and these are low poly models, but back then, this was something we haven't seen before in Star Wars games. So yeah. I'm guessing this wraps it up pretty much for the first game. We had a good start of Xerns, and I will say, we had a good start of Svampen, and a good start of Xerns, and then Xerns was rather slow with destroying the enemy base mine, which gave Svampen a good shot, but inexperience led to his downfall, I think. GG. Good. Let me update the overlay there. We have 1.4 Xerns in this best of 5 match. And they both hosted their game there. Let's see if they notice. I just joined one of them. And then join the other. Never mind. I can't decide. And here we go. Another pick apparently still holds. We have a castle pick by Svampen. And we will see which faction Xerns picks. Rebels. This is something of a staple we have seen throughout the tournament so far, that usually it's the more experienced players picking Rebels and the newer players picking Empire, which is, I think, directly related to how hard the faction is to utilize. So if you really want to increase your win rate in this game, you probably should focus on getting Rebels on a good level, because generally the Empire skill level of all players is a bit higher than the Rebel level, so you can really make a difference on the Rebel side. Good. I think there are not many words to say, but let's look and see whether Svampen can, like, overcome his mid-game weakness and take the second game. Good luck to everyone. Xerns on the Rebels again is going for the classic start with taking both of the outer mines. Nope, he's not. He's moving north to go for the middle. And Svampen is doing the mirror thing, but he was a bit slower on the start, so he's going for one of his outer mines and moving the other one to the middle mine, while his first built TIE Fighter is going for the other mine in the corner over there. I'm guessing it's gonna be the same thing for Xerns here, and there should be a X-Wing coming out of hyperspace here soon. We'll see. There he is. And it's gonna be building this mine. Xerns did the classic move in just building the defense satellite here to contest the middle and then going north to contest the mine. And he actually, with this move, like going this way, he has been quick enough to completely deny this mine from being built. I think this was me. Did I pick? It's red? Yeah, it's me. While on the other side, Svampen is focusing on the pirate dock, which is an important strategic location on this map, so we'll see how this plays out. Xerns did manage to pull off his mirrored move and build the other mine, so good for him. But now he needs to pump a few more TIE fighters over here to destroy it. Pirate Dock seems secured. I'm hoping he will turn around and move to the bottom mine over there with his TIE fighters and not let them just stay here like in the first game. They need to be doing something. This is very important in this game. Xerns is doing a smart move here. He's just contesting it and denying it from being taken via kiting the enemy fighters. And now is moving over to the enemy mine. Let's look over at the top. We still have the dogfight going, and I think the rebels are winning here. Yeah, looks like it. While on the bottom we still have the same. Oh, now it's getting close. If these TIE fighters all die, Svampen will not have vision to call in further TIE fighters, so I hope very much that he does it now. Yeah, it's a bit of the same like in the first game. His general movements at the beginning of the game are very good, and I mean they are solid, but then it's the decision making, which comes with experience, with playing more games. So we could say he's a promising player, but we can also see that he's a very new player. Like Xerns is doing expert moves like constantly, again and again, denying the pirate dock, which makes it impossible for the enemy player to build something there without sacrificing his units via dogfighting. He's just circling there. I mean, they will take damage eventually, but he's buying a lot of time. Something Xerns is doing the same as Svampen is ignoring enemy mines for a long time, but I think in this game he can do it actually because he has the advantage. He sees the entire map, he sees middle, he of course sees top with the dogfight, and he has already built 2 mines, so he's sure that he has the economic advantage, and he can just leave the status quo to be as it is. I don't like this. These X-Wings will die. 500 credits, 15 seconds building time. But on the other side of the map he's built a big blob and he will probably just go to the enemy mine that is remaining and close out this game. So by delaying this dogfight here, he's probably just trying to buy time for his other X-Wings to arrive and finish the job. However, he's not going for the mine. Is he now? Now he is, okay. Not the direct path taken. And Svampen, while having the pirate dog now, can probably not utilize it very much because he's in such a disadvantage with the mines. He just will, in the long run, lose the game via lack of funds. Same move again, just deny it for a little bit. If the enemy is building something there and he's not paying attention, you might even deny the build-up and waste the money. Because if you are building something and the location gets contested, you just lose the money and the build-up will disappear. So you have to manually cancel it to not lose the money. Svampen now is going aggressive, which is way too late, but still the right thing to do, I guess. And he actually managed to build an IPV in the time he got the pirate dock here. A note on this move, it's kinda hitting one bird with 2 stones, because he has this big armada of TIE fighters who can quickly destroy a mine, and then he has the IPV who can quickly destroy a mine, so he could just go to 2 mines at the same time to increase the speed in which he destroys them, instead of using both at one place. Even more so with how slow the IPV is on this big map. Xerns has enough of this, he's gonna attack the station, and with this amount of X-Wings it's gonna work out. He can just fly to the supply dock and destroy it in one pass with this amount of X-Wings. You see though, he is attacking the shield generator, which is taking less damage because the X-Wings can't fire from here on. So they don't use all of the range. While Svampen is doing the exact right thing, like, okay, you attack me, I cannot defend, so let's attack. I mean, in the long run, Rebels just have more damage. So we will see if Svampen maybe can pull out a tech. But I'm rather guessing that Xerns is teching up right now because of the amount of money he has. Can we see both somehow? Maybe. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. And as you can see, the X-Wings just do way more damage and the station gets destroyed way quicker. And with that,
enemy space station has been upgraded.
it's the GG. We have a 2-0 lead for the experienced player here. And it really boils down to experience. Really, you can really see that in the games. And this makes it 2 here. And let's rejoin the lobby and see what the draft will do for the third game. Now we had Endor on the first map and Castle on the second map, and we had Xerns on Rebels for 2 times. Okay. And it's a Geonosis pick on the maps, which is the last remaining official 1v1 map. And features a bit of both of the other maps. It has a nebula with a pirate dock. It has 2 mines in the middle and 1 at the bottom, and of course each faction has their base mine. Let's switch to the spectator faction here and wait for the faction pick of Svampen. He's probably contemplating right now, I mean, the enemy wins on Rebels, so maybe I should deny it from him so that he can't play it. But on the other hand, maybe I'm stronger on Empire myself, and he decided to stay with Empire and try it again. Maybe he's analyzed his problems and can strike back strong in the third game. If not, it's gonna be the last game. Good. Overlay in place. Let's see what happens. Let's watch the Svampen start. Yeah, there are slower starts, but there are also way quicker starts. So, yeah, he'll have to work on that. Xerns already has the mine built. Same with Svampen. And Xerns is doing a rather new strategy that is enabled by the Tournament Edition mod that is being played and has fixed the missile defense turrets. And he's building this one because it can see both of the mines in the middle. So it gives a good area denial effect. Bottom is ignored by Svampen right now, so Xerns will probably be able to build the mine here without interference, while on the other side both players are trying to gain control of the merchant space dock. Looks like Svampen is actually sending 2 TIE fighters in here, which should win against the X-Wings, because the X-Wings are of course weaker in the nebula than they are outside. And in the middle we have another dogfight. Third one, okay, Svampen really values the pirate dock. Good. But on the other side, Svampen really ignores the bottom side of the map. This is something I've seen in the last games. I guess you have too, as the viewers, that Svampen tends to ignore parts of the map. Maybe it's a case of tunnel vision, who knows? We can ask him after the game. And the missile turret is busy at work here. Now Xerns sees that he cannot just let the pirate dog go, so he sends reinforcements over there, which he can afford with his 2 mines. Again, he knows the amount of mines the enemy has, he knows the amount of mines he himself has, so with that knowledge he can just sacrifice X-Wings to gain map position, because he knows he has the upper hand in economics on this map right now. Svampen does not want to let go of his middle, but with the missile turret shooting 2, it's a very hard fight for the TIE fighters there, and they're getting fewer and fewer. So he'll have to think about something else to do. Topside, Xerns was able to send more X-Wings and delay this fight to deny Svampen from the IPV. And now finally Svampen is using his respawned garrison fighters to scout the bottom part of the map, something that should have probably happened way before. Now middle is one for Xerns. Now it's gonna get interesting. He can probably just go straight for the enemy base mine. En passant, he's building both of these mines. He probably has no lack of funds right now. And with this amount of X-Wings, this mine should be short-lived. There, we need another pass and it's done so. Kaboom, it's gone. Smart move here by Svampen. He isn't able to bring a lot of fighters over quickly, so he's just gonna build a laser defense satellite, who's gonna bring a lot of firepower out down here. However, Xerns doesn't really care with the amount of mines he now has on the map, which is 4. He can now decide to either tech up and get the unit composition advantage, or to use his money to just pump out more X-Wings until he has a force that Svampen cannot stop anymore. Again, we have some units that are just standing around. Yeah, to me it looks a bit like tunnel vision, like he just forgot that they are there. The laser turret did not detect the mine, which is a mistake, because it's always more important to destroy the mine than to destroy fighters. Oh, no, what is this? Svampen sneakily brought in 2 IPV petrocrafts here. And he is gonna launch a surprise attack on the middle, I guess. Maybe on the station. Let's wait and see. You have to be quick though, because Xerns is applying his map pressure and is destroying the rebuilt mine. This mine has been completed, but it will not live long enough to generate more money than it has cost in the first place. Yeah. You need to have a good grasp on how long your mine will stand if you want to make money off of it. And we have the desperation attack on the station, the last hurrah from Svampen here. Quite a little bit of a firework with this IPVs. He actually, come on, did get through the mines. But look at this. Let's make it cinematic. This is one dead IPV. Ouch. So this is gonna be a 3-0, but Svampen certainly did show the right signs. Yeah. There's a GG. Okay. GG to Xerns. GG to Svampen for bringing us entertaining games. this will make the first game of the first match of the group F. I think it was F. Complete. We have Xerns at the top now and Svampen with his first loss, but there are still a lot of games to be played in this group, and the first two advance, so if Svampen wins both of his remaining games, he is through, I think. So nothing is decided here, but I think Xerns with this win should have a pretty good shot at getting through, because he's shown that he's an experienced player who knows how to play the map, who knows how to use his units, who knows how to use them effectively. This will aid him in his further games. Seems like Svampen is going out with a fight here, or at least not tapping out. That's the Swedish fighting spirit. It's ice cold in that regard. Usually I like to talk to both of the players after the game, just for a few quick questions. Xerns right now is not able to provide a microphone for himself, so we can only talk to Svampen, but we will still do that. So we can ask him what he thought about this game, so maybe what he thought about what his mistakes were. Maybe he's already kinda insightful now after these games. Good. Let me switch over to the voice channel, and we're gonna ask him a few questions.
Thanks.
So, oh, you're busy, okay.
And no.
Your sister?
No, my brother.
Okay. You ready to talk a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So, congratulations to Xerns. I know he can't answer, but I know he hears me. So, congratulations on that win. The old VHX clan is held up in its regards. Yeah, I thought from my perspective, like the starts you did, Svampen, were really good, were solid, like you did the right things. And then in the mid games, it got a bit shaky. How did you feel the games were?
Pretty good in the start, but then I didn't know what to do, so...
Yeah, it looked a bit like this, like you knew what to do in the start, you had a plan, like I do this, and then in the mid game it looked like a lack of experience, like you need to play more to understand what to do in the mid game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I think it was promising watching you play, because it shows that you already understood a lot of what to do and you can apply what you've learned. So I'm actually hoping that I can see more games of you and see how much you improve over the next weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you both for this game. Thank you for letting me stream it so that the people can see it. And good luck to both of you in your further games. I mean, everything in this group is still open. It's the first game in your group. So good luck for all the other games. And hopefully see you again.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Good. And with that being wrapped up, today's Saturday, so I'm guessing a few games will be happening because more people have their free times today. So I'm gonna try if I can catch some more and bring you more games. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, or be active on the community Discord to be informed when it happens, or as always just check in and watch the video on demand of the streams we do. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you had a blast, and blast off until